Welcome back to the Home Stretch podcast. Today's episode is going to be a little bit more vulnerable because I'm talking about my skin. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see that I don't have any makeup on right now. So, I'm really throwing myself out there because my skin is not great at the moment, which is fine. But I just thought, why not do an episode talking about my skin, talking about how my skin got bad in the first place and the potential reasons why, some things that I've used that haven't worked out, obviously, and then the kind of things that I'm using now to help fight my acne. So I'm 30 years old and I've been suffering with severe acne for 5 years now. So it's been a constant battle of my skin getting a little bit better, clearing up, and then coming back in, and then clearing up, and then coming back again. So it's never been clear, perfectly clear, since before I was 25. And if you have clear skin, you do not know how lucky you are. And I seriously took it for granted. I feel like I do feel very grateful for my skin being super clear from being a teenager up until I was 25. I was really, really lucky. Never suffered from spots, with the odd one here and there, but not acne. So for me to now be dealing with this in my mid to late 20s, early 30s, being single during that time, having quite low self-esteem, I feel like it's a perfect episode to kind of talk about my experience. And if you do suffer with acne or spots yourself, you have to always remember that your skin will be very different to mine. There's different reasons why people's skin get bad, but a lot of people do suffer with it. And it's a horrible, horrible thing to go through. And again, if you do have crystal clear skin, I'm jealous of you. And I really wish, and I know one day I will get back to that, and this will be a distant memory in the past. So looking forward to that day, that is for sure. But I just thought I wanted to dive deep into my personal journey. And I kind of wanted to start off with talking about why my skin got bad in the first place. So rewinding time a little bit now, my skin, like I said, was crystal clear, apart from the odd spot here or there, up until I was 25. Now, I was at uni, so I was drinking a lot. I wasn't exactly eating the best kind of foods. It was mostly pizza or mac and cheese, because that's my favourite meal, and just not great stuff. I didn't really care too much about what I was putting in my body or looking after my body. I was going to the gym, but, I wasn't really thinking about eating clean or what I was putting on my skin in terms of skincare. I didn't really have a solid skincare routine. It was here, there, and everywhere. I might give my face an exfoliation every now and again, and I might put moisturizer on every now and again, but that was kind of it. I basically just kind of washed my face with water. I would occasionally have a wash that I would use, but nothing ever irritated my skin. Nothing ever caused my skin to get bad. I was fine up until I was 25. So what happened when I was 25? I have basically been on the pill, and I still am, from when I was 16 years old. Now, I am on a pill called Sorel, where it's a combination pill, I believe, where it's different hormones like progesterone and estrogen, I think. I think those two are in my pill. So I basically take this pill every single day, and I have done since I was 16. All this time, I've been on the pill and everything has been fine. It's not been an issue for me. It's been fairly good, and I haven't felt the need to come off it. Now, when I turned 25, I don't know why, but my body or my mind was kind of saying to me, your body needs a break. You've been on this pill for nearly 10 years. Your body needs a break. So I thought, what is the harm in me coming off the pill and letting, my cycle get back to a normal cycle? But I just feel like my body needed a break. I feel like I've been on it for so long and it's just probably not doing my body any favors. Anyways, I come off the pill. Everything is fine. I'm a little bit irregular, and eventually a couple months down the line start to be normal again. The one thing that happened was I started getting these very small, like under the skin bumps, like spots, just like around this area down here, around my chin. And I kind of thought, never experienced that before. That's weird. I'll keep an eye on it. And then all of a sudden I would get a few more, and it was just getting worse and worse and worse every single month. Now, when I tell you, my skin just did not stop, right? From probably month 3, when I came off the pill, my skin started getting progressively worse. week after week after week. Now, I did a lot of research. I had a look at like why that could happen. And a lot of people do say that when you come off the pill, your hormones are kind of all over the place. They don't really know what to do. It's like your skin just flares up and whatnot. I've got very oily skin. So my skin type is oily. And I think that has something to do with it because I did feel like my skin was generally quite oily. So I feel like I was producing too much oils and my skin was just going into overload. So at that point, I kind of thought there's not really much I can do apart from go to the doctors because it was getting bad. Now, I will put a photo here just to show you on YouTube like what my skin actually looked like because I can try and describe it here, but it's so hard to describe because it was very bad. Obviously, some people's skin is a lot worse, and I'm not saying mine's the worst compared to other people, and there's always going to be other people worse than you. I really, really struggled with accepting the fact that I was 25 years old and my skin was acting up like this. And again, it just kept getting worse. And I will put a photo here of when it was at its worst. And this was so painful. What one thing people don't talk about really when you have bad skin, yeah, it doesn't look great, like your self-confidence goes a bit low, but it's painful, like it hurts. And when you have cystic acne, it pushes like your skin outwards, right? And the pain, I cannot begin to describe what it was like. It was horrible. And so you're dealing with your skin not looking great. So your self-confidence is a little bit low. You kind of don't want to go out. You kind of want to wear makeup when you go out, but you don't want to wear makeup because you want your skin to breathe. So you're dealing with that. And then you're dealing with the pain, the horrible, horrible pain of what it's like when you have acne. So I was going through all of this when I was 25 and I thought, don't know what to do. This is crazy. Obviously, it's to do with my pill. I'll go to the doctors and see what they've got to say. So I booked an appointment with the doctors when my skin was really, really bad. And they put me on, now I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a cream. I think it's called Epi serum or something like that. And it was basically this cream where you put it on like the active parts of your skin once a day. But it did not sit right with me and my skin at all. My skin literally burn off. When I say like it was flaking, it kind of was like eczema on my face, and the pain that I had putting this stuff on my face, it was burning like you've never felt before. So you've got the pain of the actual spots themselves, and then you've got the pain of the skin, like the actual serum that the doctors prescribed me with. So I thought, well, I can't carry on that because that is super painful. And I think I used that for like 3 days, and I said to the doctors, this isn't working, I'm not going to be able to use that. And do you know what? I never actually went back to the doctors after that. And I kind of wish I did now, but I thought I really wanted to put my big girl pants on. And I thought, I can do this myself. Surely it's my skin, it's my body. There must be a way to help my skin in my own way. If I can research it, because I love researching stuff anyways, there must be something that is going to help with it. So I didn't go back to the doctors after that. I researched a lot. And one thing that I did come across, which I found super interesting, was a lot of other girls that were going through the same thing, like coming off the pill and then your skin getting really bad. They basically said the amount of years that you've been on the pill is generally the amount of months that your skin will keep getting worse. And then after that, it should ease off. So for me, that's 10 months. And we're on like month 5 now, and it's bad. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's probably going to get worse. And it did. So it hit month 10. And I thought, in my mind, it's still bad. Obviously, it's just month 10. So I should have maybe left it a little bit longer. But after that, I thought, I'm going to have to go back on the pill. Because I did read up a lot as well of other girls saying they went back on the pill and it helped. So I thought, I'll go back on the pill and I'm sure that will kind of ease everything off. So went back on the same pill, Sorrel. And to be honest, it did get a little bit better, but it's never been perfect since. And I'm still on the pill now. So even though I did go back on the pill, it still didn't clear up my acne afterwards. So for me, didn't work. And I went to trying different skincare things. I tried everything under the sun. You don't even want to know. I've done everything but go back to the doctors. So that's a little bit about my past when it comes to why my skin got worse in the first place. Obviously, it was something to do with hormonal fluctuations. Nothing was really helping it get super clear. I was going through waves of my skin clearing up for maybe a few months, and then it would get a bit worse again. And it always seemed to be around my chin or around my jawline here, or on my cheek line too. So that's one thing. And then even recently though, I've started getting spots on my forehead. Now, I've never had spots on my forehead before really, apart from when I first broke out when I was 25. Whereas now I've got a few under the skin spots on my forehead and I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, that's a little bit about my past. I'll tell you a little bit about what things I've used and if they've helped, if they've not. Spoiler alert, nothing worked. I did try a lot of different products, some more expensive, some cheaper. And I do think back to, a saying that I've heard before. You can put as much like skincare product on your face, but clearing your skin starts from the inside out. So I then went into like loads of research about gut health and a leaky gut. If you don't know about that, then research it. It's really interesting. So then I went on to stuff like Biomel and I tried that for a few months. Nothing worked. And that's basically like prebiotics and probiotics and stuff like that. What you ingest, and it's like healthy gut bacteria. That didn't work either. So skincare's not working, gut health stuff's not working. I'm like, what's going to work? Am I just going to have bad skin for the rest of my life? Because I'm like 29 now. What's going on? So I finally did go back to the doctors after obviously 4 years of nothing working. And they suggested that I try something called limacycline. So I don't know if you've ever heard of limacycline before, but it's basically an antibiotic, which sounds a bit scary because you go on it for quite a long time. But this is 408 milligrams of limacycline. And I'll show you what it looks like. It's sort of like a blue and white pill, and it's not as big as it looks, and it goes down the throat quite well. And usually I'm not good at taking pills, but that is fine. It goes down well. It's never got stuck on my throat or anything. So that's all good. Basically, my doctor said to me, you should probably go on limacycline. Let's try that. We'll do it for 6 months. And I was like, 6 months on an antibiotic sounds like a very long time. And to me, it's sort of like, is that normal? Sorry, I'm just grabbing my cup of tea. There we go. Got to have a cup of tea. Yeah, so for me, I just kind of thought, is that normal to be going on an antibiotic for 6 months? It doesn't sound okay. And I will get into the nitty gritty of limacycline. It's going to be different for every person that's on it. Quick little cup of tea break. But yeah, in terms of past skincare routines that have failed miserably, pop that over there. I have tried lots of things. So of course, I've tried like the more expensive stuff. One thing I did try, which I thought would help my skin loads, is like ESPA or eSpa. Every time I've been to a spa that uses Elemis or like eSpa products, my skin feels amazing and I feel great. So for me, I was like, well, if I just get like nice skincare products from them, surely that's going to help clear my skin. No, I was very wrong. So don't think that the price of a skincare product is going to help clear your skin, because there's lots of other factors obviously that play a part in why skin can get bad. And for me, I obviously just didn't know what it was. And in my mind, I've just put it down to hormonal fluctuations and changes in that sense. And realistically, is a skincare product going to help clear my skin? Probably not. There's going to be other moving factors. But eSpa, it didn't exactly make my skin worse. It made my skin feel more plump, and I think it would be the perfect skincare products if your skin was already clear and to give it like a nice shine and a nice little glow, whereas my skin was bad and it was probably, if anything, irritating my skin. So I did do that for a few months consistently as well. So I have been using it every single day, and then it wasn't getting better and it wasn't getting worse either. It was kind of in the middle. So that's one thing that didn't work for me, which I wish it did, because the stuff smells amazing. And when my skin does eventually properly clear up, I will probably use that in my skincare routine. So yeah, that's one thing. Another thing that I tried that my friend kind of recommended to me was Glow Hub. So they do Scar Slayer product as well, which was like a serum, and that again didn't really help me loads. They also have this moisturizer, like a vitamin C, well, B, C, E and shea butter and something else in there. That didn't seem to help either. So I felt like I was trying all these products, but nothing seems to be working. And then this whole craze on TikTok and social media comes about on like Korean skincare, and oh my God, like glass skin, amazing, it's perfect. And you've probably heard of Medicube. So I saw like the pads, And I was like, well, I'm going to have to try them because people's skin looks amazing. Again, these are people's skin that were already clear. Their skin was flawless. So for someone that, has acne and struggles with their skin, it's probably not going to be the right product. But saying that, I did get their kind of deep pore cleanser stuff and then also their pads. And it actually really irritated my skin. It made it worse. So it might work for some people. Some people might have tried it with others, but like for me, it just made it even worse. It really irritated my skin. And that was probably about 9 months ago now that I started using those. And I did that for maybe a month and a half, saw my skin was getting worse, so I stopped using it. So now I've stripped it back to the basics because one of my good friends did say, I struggled with my skin when I was younger. Try just washing your face with water. Remove all your skincare products so you don't know like what's potentially irritating your skin if it is. And just wash your face with water and hopefully it will clear up. So now at the moment, I'm just washing my face with water. That's all I'm doing. My skin is generally oily, but at the moment it's like in the middle. It's not too oily. It's not really dry. It's like in the middle. And I've been on limacycline for 3 months now. So let's get into limacycline. So like I said before, limacycline is basically an antibiotic and it's used for people with acne. It might be used with other things, to be honest, but both me and my cousin are going through it at the exact same time. So we've been keeping each other updated, seeing what's going on. So yeah, I started it about 3 months ago, and the first 3 to 4 weeks, my skin was proper clearing up. And I did take loads of videos, so I'm going to show my doctor. But my skin was seriously clearing up. And obviously it left some scars, but generally my skin was getting better. For the first time in all this time, my skin was getting better. Now, the first probably about a week and a half, my skin did flare up a little bit more. So it did kind of bring out a few more spots, but nothing too crazy. But I felt like my skin was purging before it got better. So that happened. And then obviously 4 weeks in, my skin is like super, super clear. Even my friends and family were like, your skin looks amazing. And I was like, oh, this is great. Maybe this is what's going to help my skin. And then we get to about week 7/8. So we're 2 months in now, basically, of using limacycline. My skin started to get worse again. And I thought, oh my God, what's happening? Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. I've literally just been taking limacycline every single day. I never miss a day, washing my face with water, and nothing else has changed. So I'm like, why is my skin getting worse again? It was really frustrating, actually. And I was talking to my cousin and I was like, yeah, so week 8, my skin was obviously getting worse again. And she was like, the exact same thing happened to me. So it was kind of nice to feel like it wasn't just me and I wasn't alone in the situation and someone else had experienced that. So if you've experienced your skin breaking out still on limacycline, please do let me know, because I love to hear people's stories about it. And it helps me have a better idea about if it's actually going to help in the future. But yeah, so my cousin, she said that she went to the doctors and said my skin got a bit worse, and they said that is quite normal. So she had a 3-month prescription, and now she's going to be doing another 3 months or another 2 months or something, just to see how it goes. But for me, coming up to the 3 months mark now, my skin is obviously, it got a bit worse a few weeks ago and it's starting to clear up a little bit more now. It's left a lot of scars. I think it's just part and parcel with having spots. You're probably going to have some scars and you can deal with that after your skin is clear. But my skin is still not 100%. And basically, in terms of the limacycline, I've just booked in a review with my doctors because they want to review it 3 months in, just to see how you're getting on, to see if it's working, I guess maybe to carry on the prescription or not. So that's booked in for this week. So hopefully I can show them some photos and videos and see what they suggest and, what's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, the one thing that I don't want to happen is going on Accutane. And I feel like it has a bit of a bad rep of just not being a nice thing to be on. And that, for a lot of people with acne, is a last resort. And if that's something that I have to consider in the future, then it will. The only thing that really, really scares me about Accutane is that some people go on it and then their skin gets bad again. Because apparently when you take it, your skin is supposed to be flawless for the rest of your life. but then some people get it again. If that doesn't work, then what else will? So that's one thing that I'm a little bit fearful of and a little bit scared of, to be completely honest. I think limacycline is definitely the first step. And I feel like doctors, they're not going to want to put you on Accutane straight away unless your skin is really bad and you want to try something else straight away. Limacycline is probably the first step that they take. Obviously, the step before that is probably that serum, because my doctors this time did ask me about it and I was like, I didn't get on with it at all. It really dried my skin out and it made it really flaky and it was painful and it was burning and it just wasn't good. So she was like, we'll ignore that for now and we'll get you on limacycline for 6 months with a 3-month review and then kind of see how you're getting on. So my review is up soon and hopefully they're going to give me a bit more information, because when I spoke to them this time, it was just like on the messenger kind of chat thing. And for me, I need to speak to someone in person or on the phone to actually get more information about what are my options, what do you think it is, have you heard about this before or experienced it with other people, like what's worked for them and whatnot. One thing that I haven't done is gone to an actual dermatologist, and I feel like the reason I haven't done that is because I want to try and work it out on my own, which failed miserably, so that's not an option anymore. Or two, try and get it sorted with the doctors, because dermatologists, if I'm spending a lot of money, I want a solution. I don't want to be like wasting money down the drain. And a prescription from the doctors is like £9 a month. So for me, I'm happy with that, to try that. But yeah, I think to try the doctor's stuff first and then potentially a dermatologist. But yeah, just skin is a really interesting topic because everyone's experiences are different and people's reasons for having bad skin is different. A lot is to do with probably lifestyle, but then mine was to do with hormones. So I think when I was younger, when I was like 16 and I started the pill, I think what's happened is it's kind of like prolonged teenage acne years to when I was 25. So I'm kind of glad that my skin has exploded when it did, because I wouldn't really want to go through this when I was in my 30s. So now that like my skin is kind of breathed a little bit, I can maybe try now looking for real solutions, because I don't know what's going on. Obviously, my gut health, I think, is fine. I work out fairly often. I don't really use skincare anymore because I don't want to irritate my skin. So I don't really know what else it is. I can't imagine it still be my hormones because I'm back on the pill. And the reason I went back on the pill was to not have bad skin and not have my hormones fluctuate. So surely my hormones are leveled out now. I don't know. So yeah, that's just something that I need to keep working on, really. But I will do a follow-up podcast about my skin in 3 months' time, just to see what the limacycline does for me and also what I'm potentially going to be doing in the future. Because one thing that is really interesting with limacycline, I've posted a little bit about it on my TikTok, but a lot of people do say when you come off it, your skin will get worse again and even worse than it was before. So I'm a little bit scared that that's going to happen. But you never know until you try, and you have to try things. Like some people have used limacycline and it's worked wonders on their skin and their skin's been flawless since. So it's going to be different for every person. I just really, really hope it works for me. And obviously my skin has been getting a little bit worse, a little bit better. But in general, to how my skin was way back in the day, it is better and it is healing and it is generally clearing. Obviously my skin's not 100% at the moment, but who's meaning to say that it's not going to work for me? I'm really hopeful. I really hope so. And there is one product that a lot of people were saying on a few of my TikTok videos. I think it's called Azalic or something like that. I don't know. It's something like that. But apparently that is really, really good for people that have acne prone skin. I've not used that product yet, and maybe that's something that I can speak to my doctors about and see if they think it's a good fit to try. But a lot of people said good things, and I feel like when the majority say good things, it's probably something to try. So yeah, I kind of want to finish the limacycline and then potentially look back into things I can actually put on my face. But again, I do think it starts from the inside out, so that's kind of what I want to focus on now. But yeah, if you've ever struggled with skin before and something's really worked for you, please, please do let me know, because we are all in this together. It's not a nice place to be and we all don't want to be here. So if you've got a product or a solution that really worked for you, then please do let me know. I think just sharing that could help me. So I don't know. I'm at my wit's end, to be honest. It's been 5 years now, 5 years, and it's still not getting better. So I'm like, where do I go from here? So yeah, that is basically a little run through about my skin, about things that I've tried in the past, what I think it's even happened in the first place. And let me know if you've had a similar experience. Did you come off the pill and did your skin get worse after that? Because I do hear a lot of mixed things in terms of my friends or people online about coming off the pill, and some people don't have any problems at all. And I'm like, how? How is your skin like flawless after you come off the pill? It's amazing. I wish mine did the same, but it's one of those journeys that I've gone on, and it's definitely taught me a lot about self-confidence and just being okay with my skin. Like, I go to the gym now, not putting on any makeup, whereas when I was 25 and my skin was breaking out, I really didn't want to leave the house. And when I did, I slathered my face in foundation because I just didn't want people to think that I had really bad skin, even though I did. And even though it's nothing to be ashamed of, like, your skin just needs to breathe and needs to go through this journey of getting better and healing, because yeah, it's not a nice thing to go through for anyone, and we're all in this together. So yeah, that is today's episode, all about skin. I have a very exciting episode next week that you are definitely going to want to listen to. If you want to know all about cruise ships, especially P&O, what goes on cruise ships, what they're like, the actual ship itself when it's sailing, because I think some people are a little bit weird about cruise ships and the rockiness sometimes that comes with cruise ships, then you're going to want to listen to next week's episode, because I'm going to be diving deep into my holiday in Norway, where Nathan took me on my 30th birthday. And I'll be giving you all the juicy goss about cruise ships and P&O and places in Norway. So yeah, definitely tune into that if you're interested in hearing all about cruise ships. They're not just for old people, they're for young people too. There's a lot of stuff that we can do on there. And yeah, it was super fun. So I'm looking forward to diving into that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.